Nope, we're doing it. Wait till after. These are going to be quick, so you have time to do your homework. And they always are. Girl pie, first of all. Okay. We are going to do a little pinch of your notes today so that most of the time you can do your homework. Let's review graphing for the top two. How would you shift number one?
Reflected.
Yes. Okay. So you are going to, if you have a +2 here, you're really going to the left 2. Then the +5, you're going to go up 5. So left 2, up 5, boom. Then put a flat line across. That flat line across is your asymptote, so it would be y equals 5. Now, do not draw this. Usually, your graph would go here, right? But because of this negative right here, what does that mean for your graph? It's going to really be 1 down, and then it's going to go here. Okay? So remember that this graph had a negative in front, so it's reflected down. Okay? Hey, thank you.
You don't say hi to me like that.
We have a special bond.
Yeah, we know.
Well, we do, but in an appropriate way, you know. All of them are appropriate. Anyway, okay. So your domain would be all real numbers, but then your range is going to be affected, is going to be affected by the fact that you flipped it. Instead of being from 5 to infinity up, negative infinity to 5. And then remember that negative infinity is always going to come first. Infinity will always come second. Okay, if it's positive, it'll come second. Negative, it'll come first. Okay, now look at the one on your homework. We're going to bounce back and forth, and I want you to graph that one.
Number 1?
Uh-huh. Does the one on your homework have a negative on it?
Yes.
The first one?
Yep.
No, it doesn't.
Second one.
I mean the graph.
Second.
No, the E one, the first one. Afternoon.
Ms. Joyner,
Yes.
ain't it, if it's the IN thing, you want to go vertical?
Yes. Okay, so look at it. Which way are we shifting number 1 on the homework?
To the left 4 up to
Okay, left 4 up 2 is here. Then you're going to draw your line in.
y
One out.
equals
Y equals 2. Very good. That's my asymptote. Okay, and then from there, am I going to go 1 up or 1 down? 1 up. So I'd be here. And then I'll draw my graph in. Remember, it goes down towards the line on the left, and then up and away from the line on the right. Then my domain would still be all real numbers. But what's my range?
infinity to
2 to infinity, right? Because 2 is the bottom.
oh yeah.
So 2 would come first, infinity would come second. Okay? Alright, now go back to your notes. We're going to look at the ln's. Remember, ln is a type of log. Specifically, it's log base e. Do you remember? So remember that this is really log base e of x minus 4. So which way am I going to shift it if there's a minus 4?
To the right.
To the right 4, that puts me right here. Now notice I'm not going to go up or down because I don't have a number at the back. Then for a log, remember that your line is vertical. So it will be like that. And then instead of going up or down to place your dot, you go to the side to place your dot. And then you'll go up and away, down and towards. My asymptote, since it's vertical, will be in x equals form. Specifically, x equals what? Except, yeah, plus 4 because I'm on the right side. And then, yes? Huh? Because it's a log. So your E graphs will always be flat. Your log graphs will always be up and down.
4 to infinity.
Okay, from 4 to infinity. And then my range will be all real numbers. Remember, you need to change the XE to a YE since it's range. Okay? Now look at the one on your homework. Okay, which way are you shifting on number 2 on the homework?
reflected down.
Okay, it is going to be reflected down, but which way are we going to shift our center?
To the left 2.
And then down 5. So left 2, down 5 is here. And then since it's an ln, which way does your asymptote go? Horizontal or vertical? It'll be vertical. So it needs to be an up and down line through that point. Okay, then I still step to the side 1. But remember that this negative, it flips it this way. It doesn't flip it backwards. So when I flip this, normally my graph looks like this. When I flip it, it's going to look like this. But it is still going to be on the right side. So remember, if there's a negative in front, it's always flipping it this way. It's not flipping it to the left backwards. Okay? And then you'll do your domain and range, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's do just one more off the homework, and then we'll go on to solving. Look at number 3. Okay, I want to shift my graph 2 units up and 6 units to the right. Where would I put the 2 units up? On the -1 inside or the +1 outside?
Oh, wait, no. To the plus
Okay, so I'm going to put a +2 on that. What's that number now?
3.
Okay, now it's a +3 because I already had a +1 and then I'm moving up 2 more from there. Okay, now my other one is a to the right 6. Is that a plus or a minus? That'll be a -6 on the -1. And if it was already -1 and a -6 more, now it's a minus what? 7. Close. Got it? Okay. The last thing that you need to know how to do is how to solve your E's and your LNs. So, look down at number 5. Okay, we already covered this on Monday, so if you weren't here on Monday, I'd go back and maybe watch the notes because I'm just going to run through a couple today since class is short. What would you do on number 5 first?
Divide.
Divide by 3. 30 divided by 3, what do you get? E to the x plus 1 equals 10. From here, we learned on Monday that to get rid of an e, you have to log base e both sides. But remember that that has a special button on the calculator. You remember what it is?
Second. Second and divided by.
ln. Now, to get the e, you're right, you do second divided by. But remember that ln e is the same as log little e of e and log little e of 10. But to avoid having to do that, your calculator has a special shortcut for that button. So in the calculator, you're going to find the ln of 10. Remember, ln stands for natural log. It's just backwards because it's Latin and they're reversed. And on the left side, what happens with the log e and the e? They cancel out. So what's going to carry down once the ln and the e are gone? It'll just be an x plus 1 and then whatever the ln of 10 is. Now, ln of 10 in the calculator, your button is right here. So I push ln here, then 10, and I get 2.30. Well, then what do I do with the plus 1 to solve? -1 and -1, x is 1.30. Got it? We need to do one more, or you have the idea? Okay, let's do number 4 right next to it. What would you do first? Can I ln right now? Minus the 5. Okay, remember that you have to get rid of any other numbers before you can ln the e to cross it out. So 25 minus 5, what's left on that side? Just a 20. And then notice I'm saving a little space because the only way for me to get rid of e is to log e it, and the shortcut for that is the ln button. And then remember that ln and e cross each other out because ln is really a log little e, so these are gone. So ln and e cancel each other out. Then from there, my 2x minus 1 is going to carry down. And then ln of 20, you would put that in the calculator.
How would you round that?
ln of 20 is 2.995 would round up to 3. Because 99 is like 99, then you add the 5, bumps it up to a 3. Okay, then what? Plus the 1 across. 3 plus 1 is 4. Then divide by 2 on both sides. 4 is, x is 2. Good?
Yes, put it over.
Huh?
The next side.
Okay, other side. Now we're going to just stay on the homework. There's one we're going to do off the notes, but mainly we're just going to do the homework. Okay, so flip over to the back. Let's say that we're doing we'll start with 8. What would you do on 8 to get rid of that 1/2 in the front? Multiply by 2. Very good. So I'm going to times by 2 on both sides. What happens with 2 and half? Cancel out. I have ln of x minus 2 left over. Okay, from here. Oh, wait, and then the other side was a 4, so now it's an 8. Because you times it by 2. Okay, from here, remember that ln is a log base e. How do you get rid of a log base e? You have to e both sides. So I would have e to the ln x minus 2, e to the 8. And remember, the reason that we do that is that ln and e do what to each other? So these guys are gone. X minus 2 is going to carry down. And then e to the 8, this is where you're going to need the second divide by. Oops, I picked the wrong one. Second divide by, and then I'll go up to the 8, just like that. Okay, so it's 2,980.96. 2980.96. Okay, what would I do from there with the minus 2?
Plus 2.
Add it to the ones place. So instead of 280, now it's 2982. Okay? Cross out number 11. It's the same as number 7. Okay, let's go to number 10 next. Okay, what would you do on number 10 if your logs are added? Good, times. What is x multiplied by 2x? Good. So you have the ln of 2x squared. Okay, then from there, how do I cancel out an ln? You e both sides. So I'm going to, now this time I'm not going to rewrite the whole thing. I'm just going to place an e on both. But remember, it's the same as if you wanted to rewrite it. E and ln cross out. 2x squared carries down. And then the other side, you would type that into your calculator, e up to the 3. Okay, 20.09, because the 8 will bump up since there's a 5 right behind it. Okay, what would I do next after that? Divide by 2. Okay, 20.09 divided by 2 is 10.05. And then from there, how do I get rid of the squared? Square root 10.05. Square root of 10.05 is 3.17. Is that the only answer?
No, plus or minus.
Plus or minus. Okay. Last one we'll do together is 9, and then you'll have like 3 left. Okay, number 9. It's a minus in the middle. What do you do? Divide. So I would have the ln of x plus 9 divided by 3x minus 1. So remember, if it's two easy things, you can just divide them. But if it's not, then you'll make a fraction. Then from there, how do I get rid of ln? E both sides. And then e and ln are going to do what with each other? Cross out. So you'll have x plus 9 and 3x minus 1. And then on the other side, what is any number if you put a 0 on it? Turns into a 1. What do you do in this situation now? Do you remember? Put it over 1 and cross multiply. So I would do 3x minus 1 times 1. But what's 3x times 1? What's 1 times 1? Minus 1 equals. And then on the other side, I'll do this diagonal. Okay, but that's just going to stay in x plus 9 because I'm only timesing it by 1, so that doesn't change anything. Okay, then from there, I need to get my x's on the same side. So I'm going to minus this x across. Okay, Tiana, are you on the phone in the middle of class? Okay.
I believe almost all of this done.
Okay, it just sounds like you're talking. So 3x minus x is 2x. Then these guys are going to cross out with each other. You'll have your 9 carried down. What comes next? Plus 1. 9 plus 1 gives you 10. And then divide by 2, x is 5. Okay, and then in case you didn't see the scribble, 11 and 7 were the same, that's why we crossed it out. Okay? If you need help on 7, look at number 10. They're very similar with the 2x squared. You only have 3 left.
Can we do it together?
Which one? I'll do it with you.
All 3.
No. Taj, pick one. 7?
Yes, 7.
3?
Oh,
No, I didn't. Oh, there's 2 3s. 7? Okay, what do you do first? I don't want to divide first. I want to, no, put it up. I don't want
That's
to.
yours.
Bye-bye. This one's
I
mine.
got it from like this.
Times.
That's where I got it from.
Not times, you need to minus the 4.
You said 10 and 7 is the same.
No. 11 was the same. We crossed 11 out.
So you didn't do.
So then from here, 4 minus 4 crosses out. You have 2ln, 2x squared, and then what's 8 minus 4? 4. Now what are left?
Then 2 divided by 2.
¿Qué necesitamos hacer ahora? You know, dividir, poner el 2 abajo. Does that mean below? Right? On bottom? Y después tenemos ln 2x squared. Y después poner el i en los dos lados. And then e and ln cross out. They cruza puntos. Then 2x squared is, you'd have to type that in. 7.39. Okay, then what? Then what?
Divide by 2.
And then?
The square.
Good. Square root. Good. What was 7.39 divided by 2?
7.
3.7. And then, and remember, whenever you square root, you have to put the plus or minus in the front. Too good. Who taught you so well? I just don't even know. 1.92.
What?
Yes. You may.